What's up, guys? This is Pretty Reads, and thank you back for tuning in to my channel. Well, my video is going to be about I will be reviewing 4 books, and I will be re-reviewing, I don't know why I'm out of breath, re-reviewing Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, and I will be unboxing a book of the month that I have finally got the chance to order 2 new books that I have been dying to read. So the book that we are going to be reviewing, that I will be re-reviewing, is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. And I did review this book in my past video of the pandemic binging, book reading binging, whatever the title that I put on there. And I wasn't able to really explain it that much because I cut out a lot, only because I was giving too much away. So it's a bit difficult to explain because of how unique it is. It's a mystery book, and it took at least the whole book to solve. So the book is told not only by the author, Paula Hawkins, but by different perspective of the characters within the book, which kind of made it a little confusing. Because it can be just a little complex for the readers to kind of follow, because at least in the beginning of the story, it kind of started off with Nell's sister and Jules, which is the main character in the entire story. And she kind of tells her story about how her relationship was with her sister, Nell, who was the one that got murdered in the book. And we as readers, and Jules herself in the book, has no idea who is, one, capable of murdering someone who is completely innocent, and then 2, who in the neighborhood, who in the circle that of Nell and Jules' friends actually wanted to murder her, wanted to kill her. In the book, all the different characters are telling their side of the story, and it's kind of complicated to really say how to really describe the book. But if you're into murder mysteries that tells different perspective of its characters, then this really would be a good read for you. It just kind of dragged along in the middle of the book because I felt like there were just some characters that were just irrelevant to really be mentioned, which is kind of bad to say because there's always a relevance to the character. So the ending was kind of jaw-dropping, only because it wasn't someone that I had expected ever posted. I did say that I was going to be reviewing The Fever Code by James Dashner, and this book is the Maze Runner series. And if you ever seen the Maze Runner movies, oh my gosh, I love the movies. The movies are insanely action-packed. They're fun to watch, and it keeps you at the edge of your seat every time, because every time they turn a corner, something is there waiting for them. Like, it's insane. But so this book is the very first book out of 4 other books, the actual Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, Death Cure, and Kill Order. So I've only read The Fever Code, and then I watched the other 3 movies. So Fever Code is basically how everything started out. Now this is in an apocalyptic type of world. So everything is in ruin. Everybody is dying. And how people are dying is called the flare. And the flare is something that flare passes to people, and it's something that happens within the brain that just eats away kind of at someone's conscience. It basically just turns them into a zombie, like a flesh-eating zombie is what the flare does to the person. And Thomas and Teresa are the main characters in this story, and they work for Wicked. Wicked is an organization that is trying to help cure the flare, when really they're actually trying to control the flare in their own, like, twisted, demonic type of, like, I don't know, just say that they're like the government. They're trying to use the flare as like a weapon, which is like, I don't know, for like economic reasons, I guess. But Thomas and Teresa, out of all the children that Wicked saved, and I'm only like using quotations because they say they saved them, but really it's like they kind of kidnapped these kids, only because they think that these kids are key to the cure, because they don't think that kids can get affected. They only think that they aim toward adults, like toward, only adults. There's just so much going on in the story that I just don't want to give away, because it's a really good story. It's a really good read. But basically the flare somehow got inside of the Wicked organization, and they're trying to figure out where it came from. How did it even, because they keep cranks. Cranks are the names of the zombies that they kind of use to scare the kids into doing all the tasks. And if they're, you know, being mischievous, trying to escape, they use the crank pit to scare them into being obedient. So one of the cranks had got in to the facility, don't know how. They figured that somebody let a crank in, and then it infected the adults inside the Wicked organization, and everything just started just falling apart. And I mean, it's a really incredible read, and I really recommend this book. And I do want to end up reading The Maze Runner and The Scorch Trials and possibly Death Cure later in the year, but this is an incredible read and I highly recommend it. So this book is so amazing. It is super cute. And I love Beauty and the Beast. I love the Disney movie Beauty and the Beast, and I love the remake with Emma Watson. And this book is Lost in the Book, an Enchanted original story by Jennifer Donnelly. And I'm just going to read the back of the book just because I haven't reviewed this before. Didn't know how to really explain it without giving too much away, so I'm just going to read the back and the back only. So, smart, bookish Belle, a captive in the Beast's castle, has become accustomed to her new home and has befriended its inhabitants. When she comes upon Nevermore, an enchanted book unlike anything else she has ever seen in the castle, Belle finds herself pulled into its pages and transported into a world of glamour and intrigue. The adventures Belle has always imagined, the dream she was forced to give up when she became a prisoner, seem to be within reach again. The charming and mysterious characters that Belle meets within the pages of Nevermore offer her a glamorous conversation, a life of dazzling luxury, and even a reunion that she never thought would be possible. Here, Belle can have everything she has ever wished for, but what about her friends and the Beast and everyone else there? Can Belle treat her new companions inside can Belle trust her new companions inside the pages of Nevermore? And is Nevermore a world that's even real? And must Belle uncover the truth about the book before she loses herself in it forever? So what I will say, outside of what I've already read, is that Belle has found an enchanted book that was planted there by Death herself. And I mean, it's incredible how and I'm thinking outside of the book that Death is the person that has cursed the Beast the first time. Like the lady, if you've ever seen Beauty and the Beast, there's a lady that had went begging for shelter, I think. And the Beast kind of turned her down, and then he cursed her with a rose. That was Death. And Death is the name of the lady in this book that has given Belle this enchanted book. And this enchanted book, because Belle loves books so much, is she can walk into this book, and this book is very, like, it gives her everything she has ever wanted. Meaning she can go to Paris, she can go to Bali, she can go to all these different types of places that she has been dreaming of, and then she meets the one person that she has been longing to see again, and it's one of her parents, and I'm not going to say which one, but it's really heartwarming. And then everything just starts to unravel, and she battles her way through these different challenges, and it's crazy. I love this read. It's a really good read. If you love Beauty and the Beast, I really recommend this book. It's Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Now, this I am so excited about. Like, if I'm outside the frame, I'm sorry. It's the way I set the camera up. Bird Box. If you have ever seen the Netflix series of Bird Box, the book, oh my God, it's way better. Way better. And I say way better because at least in the Netflix series, if you are planning on reading this book, which I highly recommend that you do read this book, it gives the same details that it has in the movie, only it has more action in the book. And they've added different scenes, and they've actually described the creatures way better than they could in the movie. So like in the movie, in the Netflix series, the way they kind of described the creatures, I mean, they couldn't really describe the creatures at all. Basically, the creatures as which what we have seen are just a shadow, and then you just hear a gust of wind, and then people started going crazy. Now in the book, it just describes it as this entity, and I'm thinking, okay, so maybe it's a demon or something from hell. So I'm thinking, okay, it's an entity that nobody can see. And then there's, you know, in the movie that there's this one guy that just like opens his eyes out in public and had pulled the drapes down in the house. So there, that same guy is in this book, except he's not the one that pulls the drape down. He actually talked to someone in the house and convinced them that, oh, you know, the creatures, they're not even creatures at all. They're just people that are trying to help us. You know, if you would just go out and look and talk to them, you know, they'll, you know, give you everything you've ever wanted. Like, it's crazy. Like, this guy is just insane. But he's kind of like in the middle to the last few chapters in the book. So he doesn't come until like way later in the book. But they describe these creatures as just like, it just sounds like it has this persona of a human body, which is kind of weird. It's like, it's how it's describing it and how I think of it. It's an entity, but it's like within human form, but no one really knows that because it's breaking branches out in the woods, and you can hear it stepping. And then it's the way it's described, it like how Mallory described it when she was pregnant and she was having her kids, and she was kind of like she was blindfolding the babies and blindfolding herself, how it can, like, she can feel it next to her, and it's warm, and she can feel it breathe, and it's oh my gosh, it left me at the end of my seat. It's crazy. This book is amazing, and I love how it just gave me so much detail about what it is that they can't see. And at the end of the book, which I didn't know in the movie, I really don't want to give the ending, sorry. Say something real quick. So I just wanted to get back on and say something real quick. Is to go ahead and follow my Instagram, because my Instagram is definitely a place that I am always on every single day if I'm not on YouTube. And I do post like the books that I'm reading, like I'm currently reading, and then how I feel about them. I also post my drawings and other content that I think you guys will enjoy. So I am going to be signing off, and have a great day.